RFK Jr. put on an impressive display during his confirmation hearing, despite the Democrats' best attempts to destroy him. Elizabeth Warren had an almighty breakdown when RFK accused her of being a big pharma shill.
You have said
you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
And after the hearing, she doubled down, airing her concerns that Big Pharma will be bankrupted by RFK policies.
His answers are he intends to continue to make money off his anti-vax position. Look, he says he won't go to work for drug companies because the American people have a right to know that the decisions made while he is Secretary of HHS are only for the good of the American people. And yet, he wants to keep a piece of the action on every one of these anti-vax lawsuits. And what that means potentially is, as Secretary of HHS, he can make those lawsuits a whole lot more profitable. In fact, he may have the opportunity to bankrupt the vaccine manufacturers, and then nobody gets vaccine.
Are you worried that he's in the position to serve his own interest?
That is the problem. He has said he will protect his right to make money off the position of Secretary of HHS. That means that every decision he makes could be for the American people or could be just to benefit RFK Jr.
Do you think any of the points you're making are resonating with your Republican colleagues? Can I get your name? Brennan, NBC.
Online commentators ridiculed Warren's response, highlighting her ties to Big Pharma. This commentator said, Elizabeth Warren is worried that the vaccine industry will go bankrupt. Elizabeth Warren received millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical vaccine industry. Elizabeth Warren only cares about her personal financial gain. Online commentators also blasted Warren's meltdown, calling her a Karen. This person said, Elizabeth Warren is an unhinged Karen. And it wasn't only Elizabeth Warren who experienced the wrath of RFK Jr. during his confirmation hearing. He also clashed with Bernie Sanders over the right to health care.
Senator, I can't give you a yes or no answer to that question.
Health care a human right? Is health care a human right?
In the way that free speech is a human right,
yeah.
I would say it's different because with free speech doesn't cost anybody anything, but in healthcare, if you smoke cigarettes for 20 years and you get cancer, you are now taking from the pool. Well, and so are you guaranteed the same right, or is there also a duty?
I'm sorry. I'd love to talk for an hour with you. We got a few minutes left here. All right. Every other country on earth says healthcare, whether you're poor or rich, young or old, is a human right. I'm not hearing you say that.
RFK then blasted the label of conspiracy theorist, which many on the left have given him.
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
That is a pejorative, Senator, that's applied to me, mainly to keep me from asking difficult questions of powerful interests. I was told that I was a conspiracy theorist. That label was applied to me because I said that the vaccines, the COVID vaccine, didn't prevent transmission and it wouldn't prevent infection, when the government was telling people, Americans, that it would. I was saying that because I was looking at the monkey studies in May of 2020. I was called a conspiracy. Now everybody admits it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said red dye caused cancer. And now FDA has acknowledged that and banned it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said fluoride lowered IQ. Last week, JAMA published a meta-review of 87 studies saying that there's a direct inverse correlation between IQ loss.
All right, so I'm going to assume
I could go on for about a week.
So is there any one of them that you can say, you got me, that really was a conspiracy theory, or are you in a position to submit for the record? I think it'd just be helpful for every one of these narratives for you to submit that maybe for the record.
Senator Ron Wyden also blasted RFK Jr. and his stance on vaccines.
So that Mr. Kennedy has embraced conspiracy theories, quacks, charlatans, especially when it comes to the safety and efficacy of vaccines. He has made it his life's work to sow doubt and discourage parents from getting their kids life-saving vaccines. It has been lucrative for him and put him on the verge of immense power. This is the profile of someone who chases money and influence wherever they lead, even if that may mean the tragic deaths of children and other vulnerable people.
This commentator slammed the senator, saying, Ron Wyden just claimed that RFK Jr. is someone who chases money and influence wherever they lead, even if that may mean the tragic death of children and other vulnerable people. Wyden has received $1.5 million from the healthcare industry. Notable donors include Molina Healthcare, Quest Diagnostics, and Novo Nordisk. Despite pushback and a challenging hearing, RFK was given an overwhelming round of applause once it ended.
And Mr. Kennedy, I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We're adjourned.
He also was supported by his Republican colleagues who gave passionate speeches.
Bobby, this is an answer to my prayers. We need to get to the answers of this, but even more, we need to heal and unify this divided nation. I'm not necessarily the most optimistic guy because we've got enormous challenges facing this nation, but I thought, wow, here's somebody from the left, somebody I don't agree with on many issues politically, coming together with President Trump and focusing on an area of agreement, something that the American people desperately want. Finding out the answers. What has caused autism? What is causing chronic illness? Ms. Kennedy, I think I've come to know what's in your heart. I think I know the personal and political price you've paid for this decision. I want to say publicly, I thank you for that. I truly appreciate what you're doing here. Can't we come together as a nation and do this? Can we do? Aren't you getting tired of this? I'm getting tired of this. So again, Mr. Kennedy, I need to enter in the record. These are just 11 letters of support signed by 63,000 people, thousands of doctors, from the American Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, Independent Medical Alliance, the North Carolina Physicians and Freedom Group, Governor Jeff Landry from Louisiana. These are Americans, nonpartisan. A lot of these people, I know because I've advocated with you. A lot of them are Democrats. They put their political differences aside. So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter this in the record.
Without objection.